born Stevland Hardaway Judkins in Saginaw, Michigan, United States, to Calvin Judkins and Lula Mae Hardaway. Due to being born 6 weeks premature, Stevie Wonder was born with a condition called retinopathy of prematurity, which made him blind. Stevie Wonder, even with this disability, made his landmark to be a pioneer and innovator in the music industry. Stevie Wonder's mother, Lula Mae Hardaway, left her husband and moved herself and her children to Detroit. Due to her leaving, Lula Hardaway Judkins changed her name to Lula Hardaway and changed Stevie's surname to Stevland Morris. Stevland Morris growing up played various instruments such as the piano, harmonica, drums, and bass. Stevland Morris never played a lot of outdoor activities due to his protective mother. Stevland Morris, due to his musical talent, was also strongly a part of the church choir. Stevland Morris was originally discovered by Gerald White, who often persuaded his brother, soul singer Ronnie White, to visit the talented Stevland Morris. Ronnie White, after seeing Stevland Morris, brought Stevland and his mother to Motown Records to visit Berry Gordy. Berry Gordy stated he was not impressed by Stevland's singing, or drumming, bongo skills, and then he played the harmonica, which astounded Berry Gordy, and Stevland Morris in 1961 at the age of 11 signed onto Motown Records with the stage name, Little Stevie Wonder. The reason why Stevie Wonder had gotten that stage name was because many people were astounded by his ability to play numerous instruments and his ability to sing, doing both at the same time, and people called Stevie a little wonder. Stevie Wonder released his first album called The Jazz Soul of Little Stevie at the age of 12, followed by an additional album, Tribute to Uncle Ray, dedicated to Ray Charles. In 1963, Stevie Wonder released a hit song called Fingertips PT 2. The song reached #1 on the Billboard pop charts. Stevie Wonder became the first singer to have a #1 album and single simultaneously. In the song were several percussion instruments played by Stevie Wonder, and this song was added to the album, recorded live, The 12-Year-Old Genius. Stevie Wonder was then referred to as the child prodigy. Stevie Wonder in 1964 made an film debut in the movie, Muscle Beach Party, as well as the sequel Bikini Beach, both directed by William Asher. In this movie, Stevie Wonder shows off his musical talent singing the songs, Happy Street and Happy Feeling, Dance and Shout. Stevie Wonder also dropped Little from this stage name as his voice started to change and he could no longer sing songs which Clarence Paul had written for him, as they were all written in a higher pitched note. Stevie Wonder then started focusing more on songwriting and came out with genuine hits like Uptight, Everything's Alright, With a Child's Heart, Blowing in the Wind, and a song which he wrote for Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Tears of a Clown. Several other songs which were smashing hits in the 60s and 70s were I Was Made to Love Her, Signed, Sealed and Delivered, I'm Yours, which Stevie stated was an idea he had gotten from his mother, and For Once in My Life. In 1970, Stevie Wonder left Motown and recorded 2 independent albums by himself. Berry Gordy was shocked to hear this by Stevie Wonder, and Berry Gordy agreed to Stevie Wonder's demand of more independence and full creative control and rights to all his songs. In 1972, Stevie Wonder returned to Motown Records and signed a $13 million contract with Motown Records. This entitled Stevie Wonder to a higher royalty rate and more full creative control and the rights to his own songs, which few artists had gotten at that time period. This contract unleashed Wonder's songs to now talk about controversial issues such as poverty, war, drugs, and politics. Stevie is known for writing and performing political songs such as You Haven't Done Nothing, which took a political stab at Richard Nixon. The first album he had released with his new agreement with Motown was Music of My Mind in 1972. In late 1972, Stevie Wonder released an album which today is known as a historic piece in music, Talking Book, which included the #1 hit song, Superstition. This song featured the clavinet, which Stevie Wonder was credited pioneer of. He later used the electric amplified keyboard instrument in many of his other albums along with the synthesizer. The song Superstition was seen as a significant contribution to the funk genre. Talking Book also featured You Are the Sunshine of My Life, which also peaked at #1. Stevie Wonder also toured with the Rolling Stones in 1972, which contributed to his album's success. Stevie Wonder struck a controversial issue with the album, Inner Visions in 1973 with singles such as Living for the City, which talked about poverty and was credited to African Americans. The album also included singles such as Golden Lady and All Love Is Fair. On August 6, 1973, Stevie Wonder was in a car accident. The 23-year-old Stevie Wonder was in the passenger seat of a 1948 Dodge flatbed truck. He was sleeping and had his headphones on. The driver, distracted by something, and failed to notice the truck ahead of them and crashed. This sent Stevie Wonder into a coma for several days. In a biography entitled, The Miraculous Journey of Lula Mae Hardaway, she retells the story. There was a great, grinding screech as metal hit metal and, then, impossibly, as if in some lavishly produced Hollywood action movie, one of the great logs disencumbered itself of the truck and came crashing through the windshield, spearing Stevie square in the forehead. Wonder was sent to a hospital immediately after the accident, and was placed under intensive care, with what they described a bruise on the head. Wonder then made a successful recovery and in 1974 released Fulfillingness' first finale, and which song topped #1 on the Billboard pop charts was the political song, You Haven't Done Nothing. By the age of 25 he was a multiple Grammy Award winner, winning Grammys for albums such as Talking Book, Inner Vision, and Fulfillingness' first finale, and at the age of 25 with several talent musicians he was on the verge of making what came to be one of this most admirable masterpieces, an album called Songs in the Key of Life. The double album, Songs in the Key of Life, was released in 1976 and the album became the first of an American artist to debut straight at #1, where it remained for 14 consecutive weeks. The album contained 2 tracks which rose to #1 on the Billboard charts, I Wish and Sir Duke. The album also contained an extraordinary sentimental song about his daughter Aisha Morris called, Isn't She Lovely? It also contained the song which focused strongly on poverty called, Village Ghetto Land. Rolling Stones listed the album as the 56th greatest album of all time out of 500. In 1979, Wonder released a soundtrack album called Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants. It was featured in the film The Secret Life of Plants. Wonder also wrote the song, Let's Get Serious for Jermaine Jackson, who left the Jacksons and was starting his own solo career. The song was ranked by Billboard to be the #1 rhythm and blues song of 1980. In 1980, Stevie Wonder released the album called Hotter Than July. On this album was a song called Happy Birthday. That song was dedicated to Martin Luther King Jr., and Stevie Wonder was one of the pioneers to getting Martin Luther King Jr. a national holiday. Stevie Wonder in 1985 received an Academy Award for his song,